When cancer strikes, doctors rush to treat the body. But almost no one teaches you how to treat your heart. Because the radiation burns, the chemotherapy weakens, and the surgeries scar. But the loneliness, the fear, the emotional exhaustion, they cut even deeper. Yet survivors often speak about something that saved them long before the medicine took effect. The quiet force of hope and the fierce strength of self-love. Self-love isn't a trend you post online. It's not skincare routines or motivational quotes. It's the courage to take care of yourself when your world is falling apart. It's the belief that your life is still worth fighting for, even when your body feels like it's giving up. And today, you're about to travel through a journey most people don't see. How hope and self-love become the strongest medicines in the cancer journey. Cancer isn't just a diagnosis. It's a detour into a world where every second feels heavier, every thought becomes louder, and every breath feels borrowed. The journey begins with a single sentence. We found something concerning. Your heart stops. Your breathing changes. Your entire life splits into two parts before the diagnosis and after. Suddenly, you're thrown into a battlefield you didn't choose. Medical terms you've never heard before become your new vocabulary. Appointments fill your calendar. Fear fills your nights. But there's something deeper happening beneath the surface. Your relationship with yourself changes. And that relationship, how you speak to yourself, comfort yourself, and care for yourself ends up deciding how you survive the journey. The inner war. Cancer attacks the body, but fear attacks the mind. And the mind is often the first thing to collapse. The thoughts become brutal. Why is this happening to me? Am I strong enough for this? Will I survive? Will I ever look or feel the same again? Why can't I handle this better? These thoughts drain more energy than the illness itself. They create an emotional battlefield where every moment feels like a fight for peace. This is where hope enters, not as a miracle cure, not as false positivity, but as a small light that reminds you, I am still here, I am still trying. And when hope grows, self-love follows. Why self-love matters more than anyone realizes. Self-love during cancer isn't soft. It's not dreamy or romantic. It is raw survival. Self-love looks like allowing yourself to cry instead of pretending to be strong, asking for help when your body can't move, resting without guilt, forgiving yourself for needing time, looking at your scars with compassion instead of shame, letting your body heal at its own pace. Self-love gives permission. Permission to be human, not heroic. Permission to feel, not perform. And that permission becomes medicine that no hospital can prescribe. Story 1. The woman who stopped hiding her pain. Lisa, a 9-year-old teacher, was known for her optimism. So, when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, she felt pressured to maintain the same smile. She hid her pain behind jokes. She hid her exhaustion behind makeup. She hid her fear behind fake strength. But at night, she broke. Her hair was falling. Her body was aching. Her spirit was cracking. The turning point came when her daughter walked in during one of her breakdowns and said, "Mom, you don't have to pretend for me." That sentence shattered the wall she had built around herself. She realized she had been trying so hard to stay positive that she was suffocating under her own expectations. From that moment on, she chose compassion over performance. She let herself feel miserable on the bad days. She let herself rest. She let people help her. She let her tears fall without shame. And something remarkable happened. She started coping better. Her mental health improved. Her anxiety dropped. Her hope returned. Self-love didn't cure her cancer, but it made her strong enough to fight it honestly. The body under attack. Cancer treatment changes your appearance faster than your identity can keep up. Hair falls. Skin dries. Weight changes. Muscles weaken. Energy disappears. You look in the mirror and see someone else staring back. Someone sick. Someone fragile. Someone you don't recognize. And that can destroy your self-worth unless you rebuild it. This is where hope becomes powerful. Hope whispers, "This is temporary. This version of you is still worthy. You are more than what you look like." Self-love answers back, "Let me take care of you through this." Story 2. The athlete who lost his strength but found his worth. Marcus was a marathon runner. Strong legs, strong lungs, strong ego. His identity revolved around performance. Then chemotherapy came. Within weeks, He couldn't jog. Then he couldn't walk without feeling dizzy. Eventually, he couldn't climb a flight of stairs. He felt humiliated. He felt weak. He felt worthless. Until one afternoon, sitting on his couch, he heard his own voice saying something he'd never admitted. "I don't know how to love myself if I'm not strong." That realization hurt more than the treatment. He had tied his worth to his physical abilities for so long that he didn't know who he was without them. So he started a new kind of training, one that had nothing to do with running. He practiced gratitude. He practiced patience. He practiced forgiving his body instead of resenting it. He practiced speaking gently to himself. And it changed everything. He says, "It took losing my physical strength to find emotional strength." He still hasn't run a marathon since, but he's healthier inwardly than ever before. That is the power of self-love. The mental burnout no one talks about. Cancer doesn't just bring physical pain. It brings emotional burnout that feels like drowning. There's the guilt for being sick, for needing help, for not being the same. There's the anger at your body, at fate, at everything you can't control. There's the numbness, days when nothing feels real or meaningful. There's the isolation. Even surrounded by people, you can feel utterly alone. Self-love becomes the life raft. Sometimes it's small, taking a warm shower, watching a favorite movie, eating something comforting. Sometimes it's huge, choosing not to hate the body that betrayed you. Either way, it saves people more than they realize. Story 3. The woman who learned to love her scars. Naomi lost her left breast to cancer, and after surgery, she couldn't look at herself for weeks. Every time she passed a mirror, she turned away. She felt disfigured. She felt incomplete. She felt broken. One night, after a particularly emotional breakdown, she stood in front of the mirror and forced herself not to turn away. She stared and cried, but she didn't look away. She touched her scar and whispered, "You kept me alive." It was the first time she saw her scar not as a loss, but as survival. That moment rebuilt her relationship with her body. She began treating herself with respect, not disgust. With kindness, not criticism. With gratitude, not rejection. Her confidence returned not because she looked the same, but because she finally understood. Her scars were proof of her strength, not her weakness. The power of hope when the body is failing. Hope isn't about pretending everything is okay. Hope is about believing everything won't always be this bad. Hope doesn't deny reality. Hope softens it. Hope doesn't erase fear. Hope makes the fear bearable. Hope doesn't promise a cure. Hope promises a reason to keep fighting for one. Every survivor has that moment when hope saves them not physically, but emotionally. The moment they decide, "I'm not giving up on myself." And once that decision is made, their fight changes. Their strength rises. Their spirit returns. Why hope and self-love work together. Hope is the direction. Self-love is the strength to walk toward it. Hope says, "You can survive this." Self-love says, "And you deserve to." Hope says, "There is still life ahead of you." Self-love says, "Let me take care of you until you can reach it." Hope lights the path. Self-love carries you through it. Together, they create a kind of healing no medicine can replicate. What survivors say they wish they knew earlier. Most survivors say things like, "I wish I had been kinder to myself sooner. I wish I had accepted help instead of pretending to be strong. I wish I hadn't blamed myself for being sick. I wish I treated myself like someone worth saving. I wish I loved my body even while it was changing." These aren't regrets. They're lessons. Lessons that become lifelines for anyone walking the same path. Cancer forces you to face yourself in a way nothing else does. Your strength, your fear, your courage, your brokenness. All of it rises to the surface. And in that vulnerable place, two things become your greatest medicines: hope and self-love. Hope keeps your spirit breathing when your body is exhausted. Self-love keeps your heart soft when life feels cruel. Together, they rebuild you from the inside out. So if you are fighting this battle, or love someone who is, remember this: you don't have to be strong every day. You don't have to be fearless. You don't have to pretend. You just have to love yourself enough to keep going, to rest when you're tired, to forgive your body, to treat yourself with compassion, to believe you are worth the fight. Because cancer may attack your body, but hope fuels your will, and self-love protects your soul. And in the end, those two forces can become the greatest healing powers you will ever know.